You wanna know what's the worst thing you can ever try and be in your entire life? Like, I'll give you like some time to think of like the worst thing you could ever think of. And honestly, for me, the one thing that would probably have to be is to do anything that has to do with politics. For almost about a while, I really have never exactly been on a political side of like the left, the right, or like conservatives, like something like that. That like those things are kind of just a foreign concept to me because like I just never really understood like any of it. And for a while, I was never really took much of a side on any of them. And it wouldn't be until I kind of like opened my eye and very much kind of realized that like every party kind of just sucks. Like it wasn't even so different because like there wasn't even the time that like Democrats and Republicans were like on the exact same like side. They had different meanings, but now it's all flipped in reverse, and things that kind of became only worse since. Like being someone in politics is almost as worse as trying to like be like a hero or like a vigilante like the anime community. Like you're literally are like your existence is literally going to be nothing but like being constantly be pummeled and like attacked from every single side, and everybody's just going to hate your entire existence because of it. The reason I'm even saying all this is because like I have no political like belief in it of like anything else out there, like really for the most part. So I don't have a stance on any of it. Like, cause listen, I like to make videos and make fun of people in all sides of the coin. Okay, I that's my thing. I'm talking about a Senate candidate having to spend like a whole bunch of money, like six figures of money, on like strip clubs, luxuries, and wire transfers, all claiming that it was meant for like campaign funds and like to win his campaign. Now this was a clip beforehand, but I very much saw the clip before, and I wanted to get a little bit much more knowledge on like the actual like story of itself. The Daily Beef reviewed White's 2022 primary campaign reports and found numerous items being boggled lead experts. The unusual expenses include a total of more than $100,000 in mysterious wire transfers and checks reported as paid to the campaign, hefty tats at spicy night spots, a getaway at posh hotels in at least 7 states, thousands of dollars in limousine services, unexplained cash withdrawals, eye-popping purchases from electronics, sports goods, clothing, and musical instrument retailers, and the dribble of smart basketball training app that White himself admitted that might be personal use. If FEC wants us to find us, that's completely fine. There are much bigger scams with political campaigns. I don't know how you can ever say that there's a much more like bigger scams out there when you're just purposely just like wasting all your money on like the most like frivolous items like ever. Like even like the article, and when he gets interviewed by the Daily Beast, he ends up like going on to say that like, oh yeah, the like I went to like this strip club and like down like Miami, Florida, and I only went there because it was only a podcast, and I also really like the food there. Like the food's really great. Like I am going to set the record straight. Nobody goes to a literal like strip club in order to like just do a podcast there and go there because they like the food. Everybody knows why you go to a strip club. Everybody knows why. I don't even need to say it for it. And also, why would a like if you're running for like to get like the votes in and to have your campaign be out there, why would you ever want to spend all this campaign money on like on like a strip club? Like what benefit does that go to? Just like the strippers in general, because like they probably enjoy it because that's just money in their pockets. But like what does that do? What I don't understand like the thought process of any of this stuff that he's like trying to justify himself. And like it's not even just like the strip club part. Like there's like an entire like it's just like galore of lists. It's 5 pages long, and I'm gonna show you like most of it like on screen. But like it is in fucking insane there, like so much so that a guy by the name Brendan Fisher, who is a specialist in campaign finance law and the deputy director of the document, said that this takes us well outside the realm of FEC fines. This looks like a kind of thing that people go to jail for. Which honestly, after looking at that like entire thing, like there is so much out there I feel even guilty looking at. Misusing campaign funds can be a serious criminal offense. Many politicians have gone to jail for diverting donor funds to personal expenses. And while the campaign's report were difficult to decipher, a close read suggests an incredibly long list of illegal expenditures. He said that while some of the costs may be evaluated on individual biases, others like nightclubs and clothing appear to have clearly crossed the line, which obviously makes sense. Like I don't imagine any political. Okay, well I guess maybe some political guys would probably do it, but they probably do it much more stealthier than Royce White. Just having to literally just spend all that money ever and blowing it off like you get the paycheck. While Fisher acknowledged that it isn't necessarily illegal to use campaign funds at a strip club for a fundraiser or other legitimate campaign event, whilst White's timing makes it difficult to explain. Uncertain to see a campaign-related justification for spending thousands of dollars in campaign funds on Miami strip clubs, private car services, and hotel rooms in the weeks after losing a race in Minneapolis. Gold Rush Carbonet's website bills the spot as a full liquor and full new gentlemen's club that features whale rooms. The campaign racked up that expense at 5 a.m. on August 16, 2022, 1 week after White lost the Republican primary, according to FCC statements. He appears to have dropped another $1,060 in cash on the limo and car services on the same day. It's also fitting that Royce White, when he was very much doing the whole thing at the strip club, which is the Gold Rush Cabaret, it was also the exact same day that this whole story ended up going out. He ended up doing a interview with Dave Pickman, and that's essentially what the clip I almost found that did all of it. So I essentially just gave you all very much like the lore and the background, and one little actual like tidbit that's like very much familiar if you're familiar with the name of Royce White. Apparently he was actually a ex-NBA like player who ended up ruining his career because of his fears of flying. That's very much the only thing I very much have known him by as far as I know, though it's kind of like one of the most famous things that he has been known for. So it's kind of a little bit of a footnote, if you will.
Who do you people think you're fooling?
I don't think we're fooling anybody.
Who do you people think you're fooling?
So the people who prepared
I answered your question.
The reports,
I answered the question.
I'm
the
trying
question
to
is
understand
no.
it, Royce. The people who prepared the reports.
The answer is no.
The
answer to your question is no.
I haven't even asked the question yet.
You did. You asked, did I spend campaign finance money on strippers?
And you responded, and now I want to ask a follow-up.
Okay.
Your claim is there were filings which said you spent campaign funds at a strip club, but they were incorrect filings.
No, they didn't say that I spent the funds at a strip club. Or no, let's say they didn't say that I spent the funds on strippers.
But it was spent at a strip club.
Well, strip club they sell food at the strip club, don't they?
So you've spent the money on food at a strip club. Is that more accurate?
You seem to be very unfamiliar with strippers and strip clubs and drag strip shows. So I'll inform you, maybe
Please.
You aren't informed, that they do have food at strip clubs.
So what you're saying is the money was
spent
did you know
that though?
Club.
Did you know that?
I know strip clubs have restaurants.
Have you ever been to a strip club?
One time.
Did you like the food?
No.
You got to go to better strip clubs then.
Okay. But
I don't know why Royce is just making it sound like that. Like David does not know what a strip club is, as if everybody is like entirely confused on what a strip club is. Like they like you're really doing everything you can to try it yourself and not admit that you went to a strip club and spent so much of like your own campaign money on out there, which by the way could lead him potentiality to be a criminal. Though, like as of now, he's kind of like the treasurer, so like I guess he's kind of like immune, but still, it's not a good look for you, no matter what. Like most political people are like seen as like very much as this like high prestigious people that have like they have like, everything together and like want to try to like serve better, quote unquote. But like this doesn't do anything to help out with it. Like he's making it sound like that. Have you ever been to a strip club? Do you even know what a strip club looks like? Do you know they have food? Because I know they have food. You don't. You don't look like the person you would end up having food, which is like again, it's a complete lie. If you convince yourself that you only go to a strip club just because for the food, you are completely lying to yourself. Like I'm just gonna say, you're lying to yourself. Just be honest. It would be a lot less shameful if you were just honest.
So what you're saying is you did spend the money at strip clubs, but on food. Is that right?
Well, I'm not saying that I spent the money. I'm saying that there was a filing on my FEC report that shouldn't have been there and potentially should have been reimbursed by somebody who may have been at the strip club, but that there is food at the strip club. So to say it was spent on strippers is not based on factual evidence.
I didn't say that.
Especially not from the day that you did.
I said it's strip club, not strippers.
No, well, okay. Well,
which is
that's
the
what's
same thing you're
implied
saying,
by
right?
the Daily Beast.
It's the same thing you're saying, right? So we
But
agree.
that's what's been implied by the Daily
Money
Beast
was
and
spent
other people
at
as well.
a strip club by someone else in your campaign on
That's
food.
that's what's been implied by the Daily Beast and other mainstream media outlets as well.
And what's the truth?
I just told you.
Someone else bought food at a strip club with campaign funds.
No, I told you about the FEC filing. You seem to have a lot of time for this one.
Well, it's because you're so obviously lying.
Okay. I'm so obviously lying.
Yeah, just tell me the truth. So, did a staffer spend money on food at a strip club?
You white liberals have a lot of nerve.
That's identity politics.
You white liberals
Royce.
hate when black men vote Republican. You hate when black men say that they like being American citizens. You hate when black men say that we want to have a border. You hate when black men say stop sending our money to the Ukraine. And you go to the WWE politics to try and defend your latent racism. That's what it is.
Hold on a second, Royce.
I'm not even going to attempt to decipher any of that like political like mumbo jumbo. It feels like it's just a bunch of buzzwords that almost feel completely utterly nothing, and that he's just only doing it because he has like legitimately no defense or any explanation as to why he spent much of the money within like most of the strip club. Like I know the strip club isn't like the biggest thing out there. It's like rather like part of like many other things, but it's still one of the main things out there that he's trying to confess. Like if it wasn't him directly, who else in the campaign ended up spending all that money out there for it? Because he's obviously lying he's lying about this thing. Like I can obviously smell the bullshit right through him, and like he just started to spew a whole bunch of shit that like wasn't even like mentioned in beforehand, and he's still gonna keep continuing to do this and even to assume something about David over here. Poor David over here. That like honestly, I kind of feel bad for him because like he was just trying to get the truth out of him, and he obviously knew something was like completely up.
Aren't you against identity politics?
Absolutely.
So what are you talking about white liberals for, especially when
what do you
I'm
mean?
a Hispanic Jewish immigrant from Argentina?
Yeah, right, but you have a white liberal ideology. That's what's funny about it.
Oh, that's something different. All right, Royce, listen, when you start hurling stuff around like that, we do have to end the interview.
You have a post-World War II democratic liberal order, white liberal ideology.
All right. The man who denounces identity politics is playing identity politics.
No, I'm not.
Royce, I really appreciate you being on today.
Your latent racism is obvious. Make sure you post the interview. Don't be a coward. And feel free to have me back on anytime so we can talk in detail where you don't cut me off. I like this kind of stuff. You people don't.
I can assure you.
You people hope that every black Republican or black America First that shows up is going to kowtow and sort of, curl up and run into the corner when you cut people off. That don't bother me.
Royce, I can assure you,
Royce,
you're on a new topic now. I can assure you, we will post the interview.
Radical feminists in this country have certainly gotten way beyond the pale in terms of their ideology.
Royce,
100,000%.
You have my word.
You think it's okay to take little kids to drag stripper shows, but you don't think it's okay for grown men to get the chicken wings from strip clubs.
Royce,
you don't think that that's weird?
It sounds like a campaign finance violation. It's not my opinion, but Royce, we got to end the interview.
You can get food for donors. You can get food for donors from anywhere in the country you want.
We got to end the interview.
I could cater from Mr. Chow's, or I could get chicken wings from a strip club. That doesn't matter. But you want to take little kids to strip clubs, drag strip clubs.
All right,
and you think that's okay.
Best of luck with the campaign, okay?
Godspeed to you.
All right,
Don't be a coward.
When did the whole thing end up getting to the point of you want to send kids to drag stripper clubs? Like, I am completely confused as to where that even came out from, but, like, it's politics. You practically will throw anything at the wall just to see if, like, what words will stick, assuming things about you. Like, you must hate the fucking crocodiles of the Amazon forest. You probably want, you have them, like, your wife's wearing them as on their purse or something like that. Like, I really just don't understand as to why at all. It is such a bullshit deflection of every single kind out there, and it's such when I was reading this whole thing, I was just blown away on just how much of how much being in politics can ruin yourself. Being political brained has got to be the worst form of like actual brain rot in the entire world. Like it's actually like a form of poison that like just infests people no matter what, and they keep taking it no matter where they go for it. And I'm kind of glad that like I don't have much of a political stance, and that I can just do whatever I can and do whatever I want for the most part. Like that's really all I have within my content. So don't expect any political content whatsoever. Just expect me making fun of like funny, silly political situations like this one. And yeah, I thought this was like a very interesting story to just share with everybody. Again, if you go to a strip club and you only go there for food, you're lying. You're just straight up lying. I don't want to hear from it that you literally do that you literally go there for the food. Unless that food is cooked up by Remy himself, I don't believe it. Yeah, that's really about there is to it. Bye bye.